Welcome to WatchJojo Cooking. I'm Cody Kane, and today we're going to be all about cuts. So I'm going to be doing multiple veggies, peppers, how to cut an avocado, what to look for in an avocado. Going to slice up some tomato, then we're going to dice it afterwards. A couple ways to do your cucumbers, slices, thick cut, coring, matchstick cuts for our carrots, and how to deal with A, peeler, and B, what if you don't have a peeler? You can still do it with a knife. Don't lose hope. Always, knives solve all the problems. We got our mushrooms, different cuts for say like a stew, slices, how to mince garlic, and how to get good yield out of that, and my personal methods of making sure that cutting garlic is a nice, easy process. Quick trick to show you how to do small diced Julienning peppers, so how to core that pepper, get good yield out of it, and then slice razor thin. From here on, you could dice if you wanted for, say, a quiche. If you have a tomato core and you want to get maximum yield, pop this guy out, the seed, not the seed, like the stem per se. Get that out of there. Cool, so now you have this guy. So now let's say you don't have a tomato core. There's two ways to approach this. There's the cut in half and then cut around, or what I sometimes do is I'll do the 4-point cut here, 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 and then just pop out the core. So like that's an option for maximum yield. And as you can see, like we're losing like no tomato. There's no loss there. Your other option here is to slice around this core here. So now this is all usable, and this is all usable, and that's all we're throwing in, which is pretty sweet. Maximum yield, deal with it. Still got a bit of core in there, upsets me greatly. Cool, so we're gonna do dice with this one. So I'm gonna go a little thicker, but I'm still gonna slice there. And at this point, past this cut, stability, it's no longer stable enough for me to get a knife in there, but you have all this tomato left. And you wanna get like 1 or 2 more slices, right? Maybe you're feeding 6 people with this tomato, 6 different burgers, right? What you can do, cut in the side there. You can see a little bit of height here. And you're just gonna push through. As you can see, I'm almost sawing, because once again, I'm letting the knife do the work. And pushing through isn't as effective as slicing through. If you have a really sharp knife, you can probably like just push through, but so now you have your tomato slices. And then this guy, we can still dice. So we'll 1, 2, 3, and then just pass over a couple times. Still good for a salad. Probably could avoid this little seed part here. This is from the bottom of the tomato, right about here. Not necessarily that it's inedible, but like it's the weird texture, that roughness of it. Not very enjoyable. Cool. So there's your tomatoes. Next up, we're doing avocados. I bought 2 avocados. This is my good one. This is my bad one to show you what to look out for. So, you can see the real darkness here. Not necessarily the whole thing. I'm still going to be able to salvage some of this, but you can see the seed is gone. You can actually see into the avocado. You can see the green in there. And so the seed is gone, and now everything inside is oxidizing. So I'm assuming that probably all of this onwards is all dead. It's all gonna be brown to black. It's gonna look bad. It's probably gonna taste bad too, so I'm not gonna use it. So my method: clean knife, slice in, break the skin. So now it's sitting there. Now I'm gonna walk the avocado along the knife. So instead of slicing the avocado, I'm walking it along. That's gonna make it maintain its angle so that it's nice and even. And then does this wonderful thing. Turn, pop. Next, seed. It's gotta go. Some people say taking your seeds and keeping them in your guacamole makes it so that it browns less. I don't know if the science behind that's legit. I prefer to just use a heavier acid, like a lime juice. I usually go pretty hard on my lime juice for my guacamole so that it preserves it. Or you can use very, very thin slices of like lemon or lime and put that on top and kind of make like a shell on top, and that will prevent the browning and the oxidization as well. Also, with your guacamole, you want it to be airtight when you seal it. So like, let's say you're doing absolutely no like citrus covers or anything to try and preserve the top layer, and you're just gonna scrape it or stir it in. You can stir it in if it's thin enough. You wanna have like a very, very tight vacuum seal. So now you got this guy. We're gonna core it with a spoon. So let's say that like it was brown around these edges. This is actually like just a gorgeous avocado, but like let's say it wasn't pretty. You could just carve inwards as much as you need to avoid the bad spots. But on the basis that this is a very nice avocado, I can just go right along the shell and just peel it out and get like super crazy good yield. Like just boom. I'm just basically peeling the skin off. So it's nice and soft. You can see the malleability here. It's got a bit of give. Very nice stuff. Very good for dicing, slicing. Going over slicing real quick, let's just boom. Just keeping our good form. We can layer out our avocado slices here. Could just spread them like that. Put that on a sandwich. Do like a chicken sandwich, avocado, some tomato, maybe something spicy to bring it together. When avocado is at room temperature, it's oxidizing, it's taking in air. When you put it in a fridge, you're reducing airflow, which means it's less likely to oxidize. Also, the process happens slower when it's in a fridge. So if you have avocados that are exactly ready to go, but you're not using them, and you have avocados that are ready to go and you're not using them for 1 or 2 days, put them in the fridge, okay? Because they're gonna go bad within 24 to 48 hours, I guarantee it. Because avocados kind of work like this. I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm ready, okay, now I'm crap. So like, I broke the tip off this knife, and it's unfortunate, but it has a benefit. So what I can do is I can cut into this avocado, and then I can do my slices inside the skin and use the skin of the avocado to protect me. Mushrooms are generally a little dirty. So what I like to do before I deal with them at all is I want to give them a rinse in cold water. You want to avoid the hot water because you'll make them too soft, and you almost start cooking them, like just the outside layer with the heat alone. So cold water is what I would use to wipe all this junk off here. Cool. If we're like chopping them up for a stew, we could do a dice. Anytime I go to work with something that's half like round, if I'm going for like half moons here, I want to half it first so that it sits flat. It's not going to move as much, safer for cutting, right? So this will be good for if I wanted to, like, say, quarter it for a dish where I wanted like full pieces of mushroom, but not like too full. Or perhaps I'm going a little thinner. I can just go my razor thin cut here for slices. As far as dicing goes, I would chop that stem off first and then maybe do a couple slices. Just break it down so it's a little more even, and then I would just pass over it a couple times if you were looking for like a mince, for like a filling for something. Now for a burger, I think I would just go with slices. I would stand it on its top, and I would just go nice and thin like that. But what I would use here is I would probably prefer to use like a portobello mushroom or something. So what I would do here is I cut my ends off, so I'm dealing with just this cucumber. And then I'll half it. So multiple points of contact, and I'm just gonna pull backwards all the way. Nice and even. You've got just your traditional slices, right? For your like salad, etc. So like this is perfectly acceptable for a salad. You could go as razor thin as you'd like, as long as your form is tight. Delicious. But like, let's say you have a dip and you want to use cucumber as a finger food, which is completely reasonable. Cucumber is delicious. You've got this guy, you've got these seeds, and if this is sitting at like room temperature for a bit, this is going to get really soggy really quickly. So what you can do is take a spoon, put in the edge of it, just drag it down, and essentially core it. I'm gonna do a couple more passes. I'm trying to, you can see the like almost bubbles, like this is the center. I'm just scraping until that's all gone. So all that's left is nice and firm. So now we're gonna make some sticks. Cool? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just rock through. You can go as thin as you want. You could go for like a thicker cut for your dips. This is also suitable for like kind of a different kind of style for your garnish for your salads and such. Like you can be putting this on top of a dish and start overlaying it so that you make a little campfire-y deal going on here. Presentation, have a little bit of fun with it. Food can be fun, why not? Right? So now we're gonna go for like slices. I like to go and get crescents, but you can go this way as well. But the catch is then you have to get rid of the core. I like having the core there, keeps everything in place. Makes the onion very stable, which makes it a pleasant little dream to cut. Slice here. So depending on how small you want to get it, let's just push our knife through until we hit basically the core. Do that again, slice. Once again, you can see I'm just about to hit it. Boom. And one more time. The closer you are, the less stable it is. So like you can do a bunch of thin cuts to do a mince, but like you have to be very, very careful because this will get less and less stable as you make it rely on less and less connections. So then we're gonna do cuts inwards. Cool. And now for the most satisfying part. Boom, 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 boom. So now we're just trimming along the edge here. I'm trying to change my angles a little bit so that I don't have to go over it again, like they're all basically the same size. And that's pretty good yield. Can't complain about that. As we know, I like to use fresh ingredients. So my favorite, fresh garlic. You can buy pre-chopped in oil, but like maybe that oily texture adds something you don't want to your dish. So I prefer to use fresh. So we break down our bulb into cloves. We got 2 ends here. So what I like to do, snip my ends. And then you have to get the skin off. So what I do is I slice in so that the skin is cut. And then if you're lucky, it'll all just peel right off. And you're giving yourself a point to peel from. There we go. So there's our clove. Let's do it again. Slicing inwards. And then unwrapping here. Now we've got the second clove here. So next thing. So you're using the full clove, you're doing like a soup, like we did in the other video. What you can do, just have to crush. That releases everything, lets the flavors flow through. It's no longer, everything's not trapped inside. It's like loose, right? The other thing is this makes it a lot easier to mince, which is your objective with garlic. No one wants diced garlic. No one wants a big piece of garlic. You want it to be flavorfully there, but not like a surprise punch to the face. So now that we've cracked our garlic, pretty happy with that. And maybe this one can go a little smaller. You can see it's breaking up here. So it's pretty good. Let's chop. Cool. And then now that my first pass, I try to go as thin as possible because I'm trying to save time. And then after that, I'm just gonna keep my fingers way out of the way. And I'm just gonna pass over in a rocking motion repeatedly. Tidy up, change the angle a little bit, clean up the knife because anything stuck to your side of your knife is not getting cut. And I'm pretty satisfied with that. That's like a really, really fine, nice fine mince. I'm happy with that. At this point, like all these tiny pieces of garlic, they're gonna cook down, they're gonna shrink up a little, and you're not gonna be eating a full chunk of garlic. Cool, so next up we have carrots. So what we can do here is we can cut it. I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to peel it, because if you have a peeler, that's all fine and dandy, right? You can just go top, bottom, and just get it all friggin' done with a couple of quick passes. And then reverse, do the other half, and just angle here is not good for this peeler at all. It's giving me a hard time. Cool, so like, that's gonna get your best yield, right? Like, this is all just the unusable skin. Perfectly serviceable for, say, like a gravy or a soup or something. For a soup stock, but not for like just eating straight up. So you got that. But like, let's say you don't have a peeler. What then, right? So what I would do is I would cut it into pieces I can work with. So I'm gonna cut that tip off. This is still too tall for me, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put it so I can stand it up. And then I'm gonna just cut down along my edges here. This is why the knife is the most important tool in the kitchen, because you can use it to substitute almost anything. Not perfect yield, but like, it works. So like, you can see that greenness, that's gonna be really firm. So I'm gonna slice that layer off. I'm gonna go until that greenness is basically gone. I'm pretty happy at that point. That's our knife trimmed. This is our peeler trimmed. Obviously there's a lot more loss here, but like, when it comes down to it, you have a solution if your peeler goes on you. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So then, how do we want to cut this? Well, we've got our slices. Be careful because it rolls, so you want to have very good stability. You can see I'm using the rest of my fingers to just kind of tape. That's also safer because now you have a flat base to cut with. Also means you get to cut faster, which is kind of nice, because like, if you're using a rocking, rolling surface, I'm not going to want to cut fast because that's where accidents are going to happen. But also, we can go the carrot stick route. We can go half and then roll it so that the corner is facing up. Cut into that. Makes them nice and even. I'm going to give this one it was a little fatter, so I'm going to cut it into more pieces. So now you have carrot sticks. And what's nice about cutting them this way is that you have like the combination of densities for your sticks. But let's say you want to go like really fancy, you want to have a nice carrot garnish. You can take your carrot here, slice it razor thin, so you got these guys. And then, same logic if I want to go a little thinner. I can just saw my way through. Be careful not to apply too much pressure. If the knife starts going in a direction you don't want it to, you need to be able to pull away before it goes and bites your fingers. Cool, so I've got all these thin little slices here. So what I'm going to go for is like this matchstick garnish. Get it, there you go. So you got the these guys here. Let's make this even. 2 for everybody. Symmetry is awesome. Cool. Go nice and thin. So now, got this matchstick blend. Could use it in a coleslaw, could garnish a salad with it. Do the same thing where I did with the cucumber there. Go for height. Next up, we're gonna julienne a pepper. Julienne's like nice thin matchstick cuts. So step one, gotta half it, the inside of your pepper. So then we'll rip the top and the seeds off, trying to minimize our waste here. And then all the flesh inside also needs to go. Give this a couple good whacks so we get rid of all the seeds. We'll get that out of our face too. This is what we end up with. And I'll do it again. Boom. Rip. Get all the flesh here. It just goes bad faster. We're gonna go razor thin, just for fun. So as you can see, I'm not pressing down, I'm just dragging the knife across. And then as I get to the end, I'll drop it. I'll keep going. So I'll do that again. Boom, boom. And then as I get to the last bit here, it's now too tall for me to hold comfortably, so I'll drop it and finish it up that way. Much cleaner cuts. Covered a bunch of different cuts, a bunch of different vegetables, a couple of my methods of cutting, problem solving, best yield, cool presentations, and everything in between. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration in your kitchen, gives you a couple ideas, some stuff to do for a salad, a soup, a stew, you name it.